Hey folks, I am here to shoot my second artist profile. I did one way back in January on Rick Springfield and showed everything I had in my collection of his. Today I'm doing my favorite musician, the greatest vocalist on the face of the planet, Russ Taff, because tomorrow I'm going down to Bell Buckle, Tennessee for the third annual Russ and Tori Taff Bell Buckle weekend. I went last year, it was my first year. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Been so excited. I've been kind of focused toward this weekend all year long. How bad do I want to go? Sunday, my sinuses blew up huge. And so I guess this video is brought to you by Kleenex because my sinuses have been terrible. If you watch the haul videos I shot on Sunday and been releasing this week, uh, yeah, I talked about it. Well, it was pretty bad, and so I went to the doctor yesterday, got a Z pack, got some other stuff. Man, I'm fighting it because when I leave tomorrow, I want to be feeling all right. So I'm not going to be feeling 100%, but I'm going to be feeling better than I am right now. Uh, Enough of that. Why am I in this hoodie? Real quick, I put on a nice shirt because this is Russ, but I forgot my camera doesn't like any dark colors. It, my skin was yellow, so I went to the gray hoodie, so I look like a human being. Not that not that anybody tunes in to this music community channel for to look at me. If we want eye candy, that's what Jake's for, right? LL Cool Jake. Um, so, uh, and for those who don't normally watch this channel, if you're seeing this video, Jake's the cat, and Jake and Aretha are running around here somewhere. Anyway, let's get down to business. I've broken down the main albums, and I think I've got them kind of in a sort of chronological order. And I'm just going to go through this. This is going to be several videos in a row because I've got all of his main stuff, and I've got a whole bunch of Christmas stuff and side projects to show. And if my energy holds up, I may even pull out my old accompaniment tracks and sheet music and show that as well. So let's get going. First, this album I acquired. It's the earliest Russ album I have. I acquired this last year at Bell Buckle, the silent auction. Uh, Sounds of Joy. This was a group that Russ was in before the Imperials, where he made his big break. Um, they put this came out of Russ and Tori's owned storage locker. Now, how cool! Think about that, especially for the record collectors watching this. I mean, who's your favorite band? The Beatles. Could you imagine getting something out of Paul McCartney's own personal storage bin? Man. So for me, this is something special. It came out of Russ and Tori's storage bin. I went in silent auction, and I immediately popped it open. It was sealed, and of course, you can see Russ signed it to me. When he handed it to me, he said, "You're probably one of two people in the world." Now that's not a scientific number, but this isn't a very common record. It's on a very looks like a very kind of generic looking label. I don't know how much distribution this actually got. It says SF Custom. Now, I do know Sounds of Joy had one other album, and it's just believe it's YWHW, and I think that stands for Yahweh, because if I remember right, in the Old Testament, there were no vowels in Yahweh. I don't even know if it works like in English, but it was supposed to be an unspeakable name, and so that's that. Anyway, that album is probably the top number one grail for me right now, because it's the only major Russ album I don't have. I believe. I believe. So, as far as I know, there were only 2 Sounds of Joy. If he did any other recordings with someone other than the Imperials, I'm not aware of them. So, Sounds of Joy. This album, the songwriting, I noticed the songwriting's not quite. It was Jesus Music, period. There's not a real great date on here, I don't think. So I'm not even exactly sure what year this is. But, man, there was a song on side 2, Freedom. Man, the lyrics are not quite as good as, say, like the Imperial stuff. Of course, the Imperials were on a different level, but the musicianship on this was actually quite nice. It's probably one of the closest things I have to a Psych album. And that song, Freedom, man, the bass line on that is one of the hottest bass lines I've ever heard. I've only spun it a couple of times. But that Sounds of Joy. There's the back. And that is the earliest Russ Taff album that I have. Alright, so then he would go, from my understanding, he would go from Sounds of Joy to the Imperials. And his first appearance with the Imperials was Sail On. Let's see here. This has a song that he wrote on it called Try Again, credited to Russell Taff. It is a gatefold. It's only one album, but it's a gatefold. Here's Russ back here. Of course, Jim Murray, Armin Morales, Dave Wills. Great group. Very 70s type music. Again, Russ right here. This was put out in 1977. Produced by Chris Christian. Yeah. So that was Sail On. Love those collars. It's on Dayspring Records. I haven't put it, well, for some reason, I haven't put it in a sleeve yet. Dayspring. So this would have been his first Imperials album. Original inner sleeve. Lyrics. Alright, so now here comes the first curiosity in the Imperials part of the discography. This is the Imperials' The Lost album. This was the studio album that was supposed to come out next. And it made sense because, and I'll explain that in a minute, but Russ has a song on here called New Creation. Great song. Can't remember. Did he write that with his wife, Tori? He wrote a lot of songs with his wife, Tori. This didn't come out till 2006, but it should have been the one that they released right after Sail On. And I'd have to reread the liner notes to see why they didn't do that, but Anyway, the next album that actually did come out back then was Imperials Live. And the reason why this album makes sense is because New Creation is on here live, and I don't know of too many times in music, and maybe other music collectors can help me. I couldn't think of too many times when a song like New Creation would debut on a live album, as opposed to appearing on a studio album, then get cut live later. All right, so on here, the song New Creation is just credited to Russ Taff. On Dayspring, there's the back. No great inner sleeve here, just but it's on the Dayspring label, and that is a 1978 album. Then came Imperials, Heed the Call. This album actually came out with two covers, and I'll try to remember to put the second cover right here, because I don't actually have that one yet. I would like to pick up a copy of that one, but this is the copy I have right now. I don't know which one came first. I would almost think the brown one came first because it matches the graphics on the back make more sense with the brown cover. But I don't know. I don't understand. That's kind of a cool cover, but and if you didn't know about the brown cover, but the brown cover does look more like it matches this a little bit more. I don't know what the creative reasoning was behind doing it. This is just this is the original inner sleeve with the lyrics. Dayspring. This is a 1979 recording. Some great songs on here. Whenever I Speak His Name is a fantastic song. And it was written by both Russ and Tori. Overcomer was written by James Holohan, who was Russ's guitarist for the longest time, and a very valuable contributor to Russ's music. I can see why Russ loved him so much. Called him Dr. J. Yeah, great songs. Let Jesus Do It For You. They were really picking up some steam here. Look at those outfits, though. Man, you could decapitate somebody with those collars. That's awesome. All right. Then we've got Russ, or the Imperials, with one more song for you. On Dayspring. This album was produced by Michael Omartian, who's in the middle of the group there. You can see, excuse me here, Russ, it's hard to see, Jim Murray, Michael Omartian, Dave Wills, and Armin Morales. 1979. Great songs like What I Can Do For You, I'm Forgiven, Eagle Song. I want to say that, yeah, Eagle Song was written by Russ and Tori. Closer Than Ever was a great song. Higher Power, man, Russ really belted that one. And I think the Imperials realized what a great lead singer they had in Russ, because he's picking up more and more of the lead vocal workload. this is a fantastic album. I'm not gonna lie, it's got a very 70s type sound to it. As far as, but the songs are so great, and of course these guys can sing, especially Russ. Man, he could really wear out those songs. Then Russ's final album with the Imperials, Priority. You see Russ right there. Got the. There was a period where I tried to have long hair. I don't think I ever got mine like that. That's pretty cool. And the mustache, man, the Fu Manchu. There's the back, kind of a plain black back. But what a talk about songs. Trumpet of Jesus, Finish What You Started, I Rather Believe in You, Be Still My Soul, Any Good Time at All, Into My Life, Seek Ye First. Man, there's just a ton of great songs. This was a fantastic album. Again, on Dayspring, if I haven't shown that yet. Let's look at Finish What You Started was written by both Russ and Tori. Kind of having a look at the center rings for the song credits. The Mardians wrote several of these really good songs, like I Rather Believe in You and Any Good Time at All, and The Trumpet of Jesus. Be Still My Soul was written by Russ and Tori. So there's two songs on that side that they wrote. The Mardians wrote most of this album. Michael and Stormy O'Mardian. Now that's not all of the Imperial stuff that I have. All right, so I don't have any of those albums on CD. Part of that reason is because nowadays those CDs probably range somewhere between $40-$80 a piece, maybe even $100, and I just won't do that. I'm a big fan, but I'll find other avenues to get to those songs. One of those is this collection, which I picked up. It is a 1996 collection. This is the Imperials, covers a wide berth of their catalog, far more than just the Russ Taff, Dave Wills, Jim Murray, Armin Morales lineup. This goes well before them and after. But there's a lot of Russ is well represented on this CD. In fact, you can see his lineup down here at the bottom. And there were some other great lineups. I mean, Paul Smith was a good lead singer for them. I believe this is Ron Hemby and Jimmy Lee. Ron actually played guitar at Bell Buckle last year. He is a fabulous singer as well. And he did a Don Henley song. I can't remember what it was now, but he did a Don Henley song at the last Bell Buckle weekend. All right. And then this says The Beginnings, Russ Taff. Now, I looked at this, I even looked at this at Bell Buckle, I noticed it on the table at Bell Buckle, but I didn't order it till a couple months ago. It wasn't until I really looked at the song listing and realized this album really is, it's all songs from the Imperials days, and brings in a lot of the big songs that he had. on here. Just great songs like Let Jesus Do It For You, What I Can Do For You, Higher Power, Eagle Song, Be Still My Soul, just The Trumpet of Jesus, Finish What You Started. These are all great songs. Just absolutely fabulous. And it's still, you can still get it reasonably cheap. I got mine off eBay. The only song that I might have put on here, I might have dropped one and put on here, would have been Whenever I Speak His Name. I love that song. Hey Aretha, how you doing? Anyway, yeah, so I would have put that on there. That's the only thing this is missing. Otherwise, this is a great pickup. If you don't have anything from his, it would be the thing that I would recommend the most. Because this is a little pricey if you go to get it online. And this has more Russ stuff than that actually does, and is a little cheaper. Okay, so we're already at 20 minutes, and I'm just going to stop here. And this first video will be Russ Taff, the Imperials Years, and I will do in the next video we'll start his solo work. So we'll see you in just a few minutes.